This is the Farm Monitor. For over 50 years, your source for agribusiness news and features from around the Southeast and across the country, focusing on one of the nation's top industries, agriculture. The Farm Monitor is produced by one of the largest general farm organizations, the Georgia Farm Bureau. Now here are your hosts, Ray DeLessio and Kenny Bergamy.
Counting down to the end of July. Where on earth does time go? Hi, everybody. So glad you tuned in for another edition of the Farm Monitor. I'm Ray DeLessio.
And I'm Kenny Bergamy. Speaking of counting, hundreds of Georgians getting ready to put that skill to use. Coming up, details on the great Georgia pollinator census. We'll tell you its purpose and why it's being called history in the making.
Also on the program, it's grilling season, and that means burgers. But have you ever had a smash burger? Well, today we're going to show you how to make one. Plus,
well, hey everybody, Ranger Nick, living life on the edge. I'm standing on what used to be a dam on the middle of Coney River, and I'm going to explain to you the purpose that this was opened up for and the agricultural benefits that have resulted. That and so much more starts right now on the Farm Monitor.
Georgia is set to make a little history next month as we become the first state in the country to conduct a comprehensive pollinator census. Damon Jones tells you why this project is so important to the agricultural industry and how you can get involved.
It's no secret that bee colonies across Georgia have been in a sharp decline since the mid-2000s, but exactly how much is still in question. That's why the Great Pollinator Census, which is set to be conducted next month, is vital in assessing the health of pollinators within the state.
We will be the first state in the United States to actually count all of our pollinators. No one's done that yet, so it's kind of a big undertaking. It is a science initiative for citizen science initiative, where Georgians across the state are encouraged to count pollinators for 15 minutes on a favorite pollinator plant on August 23rd or 24th.
And that means everyone is encouraged to get involved and participate in this survey, including children.
So schools across the state are going to be using this as part of their STEM programming, the science, technology, engineering, and math. So they're going to have lessons in the garden, they're going to pull resources from our webpage, and they're going to have students do actual counting. A family can do it at home with their kids or grandkids. There are many gardens who are holding events where people can come and get some help counting. Anybody can do it. It's open to all Georgians.
And the University of Georgia has made contributing to this study incredibly easy. All you have to do is go to greatpollinatorcensus.org and follow a few simple steps.
So if you're an individual at home, you can go online, you can actually register, and you'll be getting a newsletter until the time comes. There's the counting guide to download and print out and take to the garden. There's an observation sheet you can use. Any kind of information that you need to do the project is on that webpage.
The more people that take part, the more accurate the answers will be to a number of questions that need to be answered.
We've all heard pollinators are in danger, but what we need to know is what's out there. And what's out there this time of the year? Are we seeing more native bees than we think we would? How about migrating butterflies? Are we seeing those? What about our small native bees? Those are very important. Are we seeing more of those than we think or less? So we're going to establish a snapshot of a baseline of what's out there to build on in the future.
This information is not only important to beekeepers, but also the agricultural industry as a whole.
And things like strawberries and blueberries and apples, they benefit from multiple visits from pollinators. So it's not just a one-time thing. The quality of the fruit in the state is dependent on how many pollinators we have visiting those fruit crops.
While gathering data is the main goal for this project, that doesn't mean you can't have plenty of fun in the process.
You're part of something bigger than yourself, and your data is extremely useful. We are really going to use this data. It's not something that people are just doing, that it's not important. It really does matter. And it's just fun. Take your chair outside, grab some sweet tea, get your timer, and just look. And if people would just take a few minutes to get out in the garden and sit and relax, they're going to be in awe of all of the interesting insects that come back and forth, the wasps and the bees and the small butterflies.
Reporting from Union County, I'm Damon Jones for the Farm Monitor.
All right, Damon, thank you so much. Whatever you need help with, chances are there's an app for it. For example, need help managing your fruit orchard? Well, you're in luck. There's an app for it. It's called the IPM app. The Monitor's John Holcomb recently spoke with one of the developers and shares the benefits of the app and what those in the field think about it.
Managing crops can be a difficult task, especially when resources are limited or it's hard remembering what you need to do to treat a certain pest or disease. Researchers have decided to change that by making all of that information available to producers at their fingertips. All they need is a smartphone.
Back in around 2013, 2014, a group at Clemson University, led by Guido Schnabel, who is their fruit pathologist, he and some other guys were working on basically developing an app to help their strawberry and peach growers to really figure out a better way to help manage disease pests in those crops. And so they put together a nice little app basically to help diagnose disease problems for both peaches and strawberries. And then over time, more people were like, hey, that's a really cool app, can I join in? And he brought together a big team to create several apps. So they ended up having 3 apps, one for insects and various crops, one for diseases, and then one for diseases in the Northeast America.
When Blau started with UGA, he joined in working to consolidate the 3 apps into one, which has everything they will need to treat 10 different crops for both pests and diseases.
Growers will be out in a field and they find something, they are curious on what they need to use to spray for it. They can pull that up. It has the labeled rate that's updated annually. It also has the pre-harvest interval and the re-entry interval for all those insecticides and pesticides.
The merging of the 3 different apps into one took some time and energy, but according to Blau, has been a success to those that use it.
We've gotten some really nice feedback from both the producers and Extension. So we not only Extension agents, but Extension specialists all have given us really good feedback saying that this app helps them, because not only does it have pictures of the pests, but it also will have the insecticides or the fungicides that are labeled for that pest.
One of those positive reviews comes from Jeff Cook, an Extension agent in Peach County.
It's just good to have a reference, something that you can look at right there. You know, we can't always send something right away to our specialist. So having the insects and diseases right there to look at, have descriptions from our specialists throughout the Southeast. You know, it gives you a lot of information you can pull right there. You can look at in the field and you can use to help, you know, get a quick answer to a grower.
With such great success, they have decided to add even more features to the app.
The way we're going with this app right now, trying to include some more crops. So one of the more recent crops we've added are pecans. So pecans are a new one for us. And also I'm trying to add in more insects. So right now I got another small grant to add in beneficial insects. So this app right now is geared toward pest management, but we're going to try to add more to it so that it's all around kind of a farm management.
Reporting in Byron for the Farm Monitor, I'm John Holcomb.
John, thanks so much. Don't let the name fool you. These are some of the best burgers you have ever tasted. Meals from the Field when the Farm Monitor continues.
Hi, my name is Kylie Whitworth, and I am a Vice President of the Georgia State FFA. So I come from a 5th generational farming family. In the 1950s, it started with my great-great-great-grandfather with a dairy operation. And from up until 2005, we owned that, sold it, and transitioned into the poultry industry, as well as having a small herd of market goats and beef cattle. And I currently do sell market goats to the Madison County Show Goat Sale. And my FFA journey began a little bit later in life of 2012, and my brother's in 2009, so he's kind of the one that got me involved, but agriculture runs pretty deep within my family. This fall, I will attend Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College in hopes to obtain a degree in agricultural education. So I want to impact the lives of students in further generations just as mine's been impacted.
To learn more about the National FFA organization, log on to ffa.org.
All right. righty, welcome back to the Farm Monitor and to another edition of Meals from the Field. Yes, joining me as always is my dear friend Marcia Crowley. So good to see you again. Marcia, always fun every time we come down here. Check out your calendar. You will see that it is July, which of course means grilling season, bugs, hot weather, humid, iced tea, unsweet or sweet, whatever your preference is. So today we're doing a grilling theme. And we got some really good recipes that we have never done in this segment in the 7+ years or 6+ years we've been doing this.
Like that.
So tell us what we got today, Marcia.
Well, we're doing a smash burger, and you may say, what the heck is a smash burger?
Okay.
I said the same thing, and you don't mess with my burger. So if I didn't like it, I wouldn't be doing it.
Not going to mess with your burgers. Go for it.
This is a pound of ground beef. Of course, you can double it if you want. And this is 4 strips of bacon that you chop first, put in the freezer, and then re-chop it or put it in the food processor, which is what I did.
Okay.
You add that to the ground beef and 1/4 cup of chopped onion. Now you could add blue cheese to this, leave the onion out. You could pretty much do whatever you want with this. You're gonna mix that up. And you're going to form it into, and I'm not going to put my hands in the raw meat.
You know what that looks like to me? That looks like a little meatball.
That's a big meatball.
A big old meatball.
I'm
familiar with those.
You're going to form this into 4 even-size balls.
Okay.
Okay? And when I did this before the show, this really smoked, so I'm not going to do that, or we would be up in smoke.
I'll give you sound effects. Crackle, 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 crackle.
You're going to put this in a really hot skillet. Now you can put the skillet on the grill, or you could just do this on the grill. Once you get it in the hot pan, after 2 minutes, you're going to smash it. That's why you call it a smash burger.
So you leave the ball.
You leave the ball, and then you after about 2 minutes, you smash it.
Okay.
And then you flip it. And what I found was interesting about this, it really held in the flavor.
Okay.
And it was really juicy.
Okay.
And they're good. Like I said, don't mess with my burger.
Yeah, and there you see the finished product of the smash burger. Doesn't look so smashed there with a little cheese melted on there. Next subject.
Okay, but like I said, these are all the rage.
Okay.
So whatever. All right, the next is an oven-baked corn, which you could do this on the grill as well. This is an ear of Georgia corn.
Did you grow that corn yourself?
I did not. I did not.
Looks like sweet corn if you ask me.
It's sweet corn, and it's the red and white corn, which I like. All right, this is softened butter. I'm going to add to that. You could pretty much add anything to this you wanted. This is a little garlic, salt, and pepper, and I added some rosemary.
Okay.
Or you don't have to add anything. Mix that together. Then you're going to brush it on a piece of foil. Let me see how I'm going to do that. I think I'll just do this. Brush it on the foil, like so. You're going to kind of work it around. Then you're going to wrap it up. And if you were a Girl Scout, or in your case, a Boy Scout, you might have done this.
Neither. I was neither.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. You're going to bake this at 350 for about 30 minutes.
Okay.
And it's really good. It's a really good, quick meal, and it holds in the oven pretty well.
Okay. You could do it on your grill if you wanted to as well.
You could put that on the grill, exactly.
All right. So that is the oven corn, if you want to call it, and then the final product. Looks like we got some canning, or
this is you're
not a big canner.
I'm not a big canner, so these are refrigerator pickles.
Okay.
And I've got in here Kirby cucumbers, and the difference between a Kirby cucumber and the kind you would normally put on a salad is the peeling is not waxed.
Oh, okay.
So you can leave the peeling on, or you can peel it. And this, I've soaked or put the sliced pickles and Vidalia onion in a colander with salt on it to kind of let it wilt a little bit. All right, you're going to add to that some peppers. And I looked for the peppers that they put in the hot pepper sauce that you put on. You can't find them, so.
No.
But that would be a good addition in here. You can always pull it out of a jar. And you don't want to pack it really tight, but you want to add plenty of cucumber, onion, and pepper, because this will shrink as well.
Right.
All right, you're going to add to that. The recipe is 2 cups of white vinegar, a cup of sugar. You're going to put that in a non-reactive bowl, which means non-metal, until the sugar dissolves. and that's going to take about 45 minutes maybe. You're going to add to that celery salt, or celery seed, sorry. And you're just going to pour it on top of this mixture.
Now, what makes it thick? Is the sugar that makes it thick?
The sugar that makes it thick,
I was going to say, it looks a little thick.
And these are, you know, on the sweet side, obviously, with the sugar in there, but they're so good. You're going to fill that almost to the top with the liquid. Like I said, this will shrink. Put the top on it and put it in the refrigerator and let it sit there for like 8 hours. And then it's good for 2 weeks in the refrigerator.
8 hours good for 2 weeks, simple as that. And of course, folks, you can find all these recipes by logging on to farm-monitor.com. 6+ years of recipes on there. So yes, choose wisely. We promise you won't be disappointed. Marcia,
will not be. Thank
so
you,
good
Ray.
to see you again.
Happy summer.
Yeah, happy summer to you too, and happy summer as well. We will see you next month.
Well, hey everybody, Ranger Nick coming up. You know, dams serve a lot of purposes, both agriculturally and from a natural resource management standpoint. But sometimes dams like the one you're looking at behind me can cause more harm than good. I'll explain the process it took to remove that one and all the benefits that resulted after the break.
Well, finally this week, it was a project initiated in 2015, completed last year, and has since made a major impact on Oconee County, both ecologically and agriculturally. It's something the Monitor's Ranger Nick took great fascination with, and so he decided to investigate and teach us about its many benefits.
Well, we've walked on them. We've driven on them, we fish off of them sometimes. These things are useful features. We're looking at a dam right here on the Middle Oconee River, and this dam is no longer. And I want to talk about why it is no longer, and there's an individual that led the effort to get it to the point where it is now, and that's Dr. Jay Shelton. Dr. Shelton, it's so good to see you again.
Good to see you.
This guy's been on the segment a number of times with us, an expert in fisheries biologist, of course. Dr. Shelton, we're looking at a dam that is now opened up. Why was it such a problem before this had been opened? What's the big deal about a dam like this right here in Oconee County?
Well, of course, dams provide a tremendous number of valuable services to us, and we depend on them for flood control and hydropower generation and a lot of other things. But in Georgia and many other states, there are thousands of derelict dams, dams that have not been utilized for many decades, like this one. And they haven't been used for any benefit. They are a potential safety risk. They cause problems for recreational use of the river, and we have concerns about the ecology of the river as a result of them being here.
So they're stopping fish from moving, they're stopping if I'm in my kayak, I'm not getting through something right there, so it's a problem.
Problem, and then also the safety part of this. It can be a danger.
People maybe swimming in the water and having some issues
especially
there with
after flooding, when very dangerous hydraulics are generated by these low head structures.
Interesting. So something like this that is now opened up, you were the guy, you were the go-to guy that got this going literally a number of years ago. A year ago this was opened. Dr. Shelton, I want to talk next about how we got to this point, because it takes an expert like Dr. Shelton and a team of stakeholders to make this happen. Wasn't an easy feat, and I want to talk about that with you next in case you at home are wondering, if I've got a dam near me, how can I do something about it, particularly if it's a derelict, unused dam? So let's go there next. Well, look at how beautiful this looks. It's a perfect gap where this dam used to be. And Dr. Shelton, we're standing on a sandbar just downstream of that. How did it get to look like that? I mean, talk to us about how it looks that way. We know the benefits. How?
Well, it was a lengthy process. And obviously there was a lot of permitting and a lot of planning involved. But the actual removal of the dam is one piece at a time. It was done by a highly specialized, really valuable part of the team, a group of U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service employees that are responsible for doing aquatic connectivity projects all over the place.
And they come in with, not with hammers and nails, but we're talking about equipment, big pieces of equipment that they're able to put into the water to do this?
That's correct. There were actually 3 giant excavators, 3 big yellow machines in the river all at one time during the 1 week that it took to modify this dam.
And the process of doing this, getting them here, this is not something that just somebody at home can, well, I'm going to go ahead and do this, put the tractor in the water and do this. Talk to us about some of those stakeholders. You mentioned U.S. Fish and Wildlife.
Right.
Who else was involved? How did you do this? This is a waterway. This is protected.
Yeah, the authority for doing things like this in rivers comes from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. So they issue a permit. It's called a 404 permit. It's a nationwide process. And that permit procedure took us about 2 years, and it involved input and guidance from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, from Environmental Protection Agency, from Georgia DNR, Environmental Protection Division, and many other stakeholders who had to review and authorize us to actually do this work.
So this is several years. You're an expert brought in. We're standing on a sandbar that is the result of this. Talk to me about that. I mean, that's interesting. Benefits of this opening up. How did we get to stand where we are now?
Yeah. So ecologically, we talk about aquatic connectivity. Then it's good for fish. It's good for other aquatic organisms, because this is, dams have the potential, especially derelict dams that aren't being utilized, to be an impediment to movement, a form, if you will, of habitat fragmentation. Right. So that's what we did, was we eliminated that fragment. We reconnected two pieces of the river that had been separated in many ways for over 100 years.
Gosh, incredible. Now what I want to do is I want to talk about, if you're at home, you know about a dam that is not in use and you're wondering, how can I get to the point where I'm benefiting wildlife aquatically and terrestrially? Let's talk about the process that you can follow to get a dam like that removed in your area. So let's check it out. So Jay, before we get into all of the ways that someone at home could potentially impact a dam like this and get it removed, one that's not useful, what are some ways that you know that the work that you contributed to is benefiting the environment? How are you all monitoring this?
Well, as part of our permitting process, we are required to collect environmental data, biological data prior to the dam removal, during the construction phase, and for the next 3 years. So we're actually monitoring fish above and below the dam, aquatic organisms above and below the dam, water quality, and the habitat changes above and below the dam for the next 3 years.
Interesting. You and a team of folks?
Yeah, this is really an amazing group of stakeholders that include Environmental Protection Agency, Fish and Wildlife Service, and state agencies like the Department of Natural Resources. Excellent. And we'll be accumulating data for the next 3 years on the effect of this project.
And to be able to talk about monitoring on the Farm Monitor, it doesn't get any better than that. So Jay, if I'm at home and I'm wondering how can I open up an unused dam like this, what are some of the steps that you went through to get that going on?
Well, it is an extensive process. It requires a lot of experts in various disciplines. But the reason that we were able to pull all this together was that we created something called the Georgia Aquatic Connectivity Team, the ACT. And the Aquatic Connectivity Team now brings together expertise in all the different aspects of aquatic connectivity, and that's available to assist with other projects in the future. We were hoping that this project would serve as a model for future projects.
That's what's incredible. Georgia is leading the way. The Warnell School of Forestry and Natural Resources, Dr. Shelton, leading the way in the Southeast and the nation, and it started with the leadership of this guy. Dr. Shelton, thank you so much. Got to give you credit. That is great. It's such a pleasure to have you on again. When you're online checking out some of those resources, hop over to the Farm Monitor Facebook page, and while you're there, hop over to the Ranger Nick Facebook page and see the kind of stuff I've got going on, all the craziness. And until next time, for the Farm Monitor, as I always say, Dr. Shelton, as you know, enthusiasm is contagious. So pass it on. Y'all, thanks so much for joining us today, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you when we get back together again next month. See ya.
All right, Nick, thanks so much, and thank you for watching. Unfortunately, we're out of time.
Here's a reminder, for all the latest ag info regarding food, great recipes, and what's happening down on the farm, be sure you check out our Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest pages. You'll stay informed and see what's up in the world of farming, and with us here on the show. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next week right here on the Farm Monitor.
Have a great week.